Welcome back to Time Out Quick Guides.
Today we are talking all about Ras Al Khaimah and 10 of the best things that you can do in the UAE's northernmost emirate.
It's an emirate that's steeped in history, gorgeous scenery and thrilling adventure sports to try. So here's what you need to be checking out.
But before we get going, as always, don't forget to subscribe to the Time Out GCC YouTube channel. There's a button down there and you could even win a staycation. So let's get going. First up today is the Bedouin Oasis.
In this part of the world, we are truly blessed with remarkable scenery. And one way for visitors to really experience their surroundings is to head out to the Bedouin Oasis camp. While some of you will enjoy the more modern pursuit of a desert safari, dune bashing in a 4x4 is bundles of fun, we think you should combine it with one of the countless other adventures on offer. Falconry shows, camel trekking and dinner in the desert are 3 ways to enjoy this remarkable venue. But we say, why not go the whole way and sign up for some overnight camping?
Yeah, right?
You'll be set up in your own Bedouin-style tent before setting down for dinner beside the campfire, learning more about life in the olden days and gazing at the stars above you in the clear night sky. If you fancy something a bit more thrill-seeking, do some canyoning at Wadi Shoka.
That's right. So if you want to feel the rugged mountain terrain underneath your feet and cool water around you, then canyoning, otherwise known as hiking in water, is the activity that you are looking for. And there's nowhere better for it than Wadi Shoka as far as we're concerned. During a half-day trip, which you can book with tour operator Adventurati Outdoor, you'll learn to navigate your way on wet ground, plus you'll get to jump and swim in freshwater pools and scramble your way through this gorgeous wadi. It's absolutely stunning. It hardly gets more immersive in Ras Al Khaimah than this. Time for a history lesson, so let's head over to DHAYA Fort.
This mud brick fort dates back to the 18th century and is one of the most important historical structures in the UAE. It used to be a defensive post for the emirate and sits as the highest fort in the UAE. These days, the ruins are easily accessible and well worth a trip to take a step back in time. Take a hike up the hill and admire the views. For something truly thrill-seeking, head to Jebel Jais Flight, the world's longest zipline.
There's simply nothing quite like heading to the top of the UAE's highest point before embarking on Jebel Jais Flight, also known, as Emily said, as the world's longest zipline. In other words, there's no greater thrill for adventurous souls who love tearing across sublime scenery at more than 140 kilometers an hour. Set 1.6 kilometers above sea level, those 3 minutes you spend hurtling down the wire are some of the most exhilarating that you'll find around town. And it's a journey of 2 parts, because then there's a second, slightly less intense zip line that takes you down to the bottom. You'll get hugs, high fives all round, and you'll also get some footage of your flight. But down back at sea level, next up today is kayaking in the mangroves.
Head out onto the waters of Ras Al Khaimah's gorgeous mangroves and discover why they're so important to the existence of coastal seas around the world. 3-hour sessions are available with various tour operators and the views are absolutely stunning out here. It's a great way of spending a relaxing afternoon out on the waters, learning about the emirate's wildlife and finding out more about the world's ocean life. Despite what you may think, kayaking is a really low-key, low-risk and low-tempo activity, so it gives you a chance to take in the beauty of the local area. Next up today is pearl farming at SUWAIDI Pearl Farm.
One of the UAE's most historic traditions, you can find out everything about pearl farming by doing it yourself at this decade-old pearl farm. You'll be able to take a glimpse into the past by going on a historic boat tour where you'll learn all about pearl diving and why it's such an important part of the UAE's history. You'll also be able to then take a dive and choose your very own pearl, truly one of the most unique experiences that you'll be able to do in the emirate. But instead of all of this thrill-seeking activities, you can head to a private villa at the RITZ-CARLTON Ras Al Khaimah Al HAMRA beach resort.
Yes, because if all that activity has left you a bit worn out, take a load off at one of the most idyllic hotel getaways the UAE has to offer. Because it's not often that you'll get to stay on the edges of the Arabian Gulf in your very own private villa. These places are absolutely stunning and they're equally massive. Many come with their own private pools on the waterfront. But it doesn't come cheap. These private villas stretch into the thousands of dirhams per night. But you'll not regret spending a night in absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous surroundings. Next up, we have Ras Al Khaimah's National Museum.
Absolutely, and this National Museum is a fascinating insight into what life used to be like within this 19th century fort. It used to be owned by the Ras Al Khaimah ruling family until the 1960s, so you're bound to find loads of absolute treasures within there, detailing life in the emirate. Some of the items that you can expect to find include traditional weapons, tools and ceramics which show Ras Al Khaimah's past as a significant trading post. And local digs have uncovered some incredible artifacts dating back up to 10,000 years. You'll also learn a lot more about life in the Emirates, including architecture, pearl diving, date growing, farming and fishing. But further under the water, we're going to go check out some scuba diving in the Arabian Gulf.
What better way of getting a taste of marine life in the Emirate than by strapping on a tank and heading out to that great blue? There are loads of different diving schools that offer you the chance of getting your PADI licence and take the plunge. The Emirates waters lend themselves to different types of diving, including deep sea diving, night diving and even wreck diving, where you get to swim through boats on the ocean floor.
That's cool.
Yeah. So strap on a tank, grab your flippers and head on out there. Finally today we have the Via Ferrata.
Now, you'd be excused for not being familiar with the term Via Ferrata, but it's Italian for Iron Road, and it's a kind of climbing route found in places like the Alps. The one in Ras Al Khaimah traverses more than 1 kilometre along the face of Jebel Jais, which is the UAE's highest point. You'll be able to clip on and clip off the route at various points secured to the mountain wall. It's perfectly safe, don't worry. But depending on the ability of your team, the typical tour can take between 2 and 4 hours. Throughout the climb though, you will reach heights of up to 120 metres, and there are 3 different zip lines increasing in length, starting at 50 metres and ending at 300 metres. That's bound to get your blood pumping. So that's it. What an absolutely brilliant list, eh?
Those are the 10 top attractions in Ras Al Khaimah this year. Don't forget to subscribe to the Time Out GCC YouTube channel for loads more videos just like this. And let us know what your favourite things to do in Ras Al Khaimah are.
We'll see you next time.